I want to know, what are you doing, Ravi?
We're here to eliminate 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide. That's
Mhm.
the grand mission. And I've personally committed 20 years of my life for it. I turned 50 a couple of years ago, and we started this journey about 5 years ago. So this has still got a long way to go, but one word, billion tons of carbon dioxide is what we want to. One sentence, yeah.
And how are you doing this? So what's the whole dream? How do you get there?
So we have been working on the different core tech components of an electric truck. Why electric trucks? Because 2% of the vehicles produce nearly 50% of all carbon dioxide on the roads. Most people don't realize this.
Oh,
So if you look at all the vehicles on the road, from the
yeah.
tailpipe emissions perspective, nearly half of it comes from 2% of the vehicles. And out of the 2%, it is these heavy commercial vehicles moving stuff up and down. So if you come from impact point of view, this would be the spot that you want to go after. India has about 3 million trucks running on the road today. Out of the 3 million trucks, we don't have any trucks that are electric today. Just by switching from ICE to electric, we're going to come down the planet load by a third right away. And this I'm talking with electricity from coal. So you're already getting rid of 66% of all carbon emissions just by switching to electric. Secondly, if we add solar power, India, as you know, is adding tremendous amount of solar power. So if you power these electric trucks with green energy, you're looking at big time clean energy. And a truck annually puts out about nearly 100 tons of carbon dioxide running up and down at about 250 kilometers. That's the average. So every truck is, nearly 100 tons. It's between 80 to 100, depending on how much you run and how old the vehicle is. And interestingly, India runs lots of old trucks, as you know. And as of just last couple of weeks, the government of India has announced that all the trucks that are more than 10 years old around New Delhi are not going to be allowed to run on the roads anymore, simply because they put out a lot more pollution, they burn a lot more diesel. But these are folks that have bought these trucks 15, 20 years ago, and they want to sweat these assets.
Right.
So quite simply, these trucks need to get off the roads. And there are broadly 3 ways to do it. One is to just sell more electric trucks. Second is to repower the existing trucks that are running. That's possible too. At roughly about a third of the cost, you can repower these trucks.
New power, new motors, and so on. Okay.
Yeah. And then we wait for the grand switch from, let's say, fossil fuel based grid power to more renewable power sources. Then it starts compounding, and we're looking at a really green, heavy commercial transport in the country.
3 million trucks. And of course, it's also going to be cheaper for them to run on, let's say, electric. Is it?
It is going to be cheaper to run. The operating costs are roughly about a fifth. The current challenge is the upfront cost.
Absolutely.
And off the upfront cost, it's the batteries, as you probably know, that's keeping the electric trucks still behind. The things are about to change. What we plan to do at Tresa is get rid of the upfront battery costs. We are looking at creatively financing it so that the battery capex stays on some other balance sheets and people look at OPEX. We are also exploring how to sell just kilometers that are green kilometers instead of, people keeping these assets and sweating them on their books. So there are multiple ways to do this.
Yep.
So our grand vision is to get on this journey where, we keep adding electric trucks to the Indian portfolio of trucks that are 3 million today. India is adding about 300,000 trucks a year. Our grand goal becomes reality the day we have 1 million trucks run for a decade on electric powertrain.
Wow.
We hit our goal of eliminating 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide.
So I want to know more, right? So how long has Tresa been around? You told me, right? It's in the past 5 years and so on. How far are you on this journey?
So we started our journey roughly around 2020, at the peak of pandemic. And we started with a motor. So we built a motor that's called an axial flux motor. It's quite a special motor. The reason it's special is because it has less weight and has the same, power ton capacity. We are on the journey of building a 150 kilowatt motor, which means that's enough to pull a truck, right? And it's a difficult motor to build. So we have a motor work in progress. We have motor controllers in-house. We have some very unique technology and patents on the battery pack cooling and the battery pack assembly itself. And we are building some e-axles and a bunch of core technology that make an electric truck, number one, technically made in-house in India. And secondly, that's the tipping point that will turn the cost side, upfront costs, dramatically come down by almost 30% versus importing these core expensive technologies from around the world and doing a system integration in India. So if you want to make in India, you should be making all the most difficult and expensive core technologies in India. And that's what Tresa is doing. The second thing is, we made a truck about 2 years ago, a working prototype that has done about 16,000 kilometers of road testing already. So it's been running on the road. We also have some very encouraging letters of intents, memorandum of understanding from someone like Amazon. Thousands of trucks is the interest. So all we have to do is convert this potential into reality and get going.
How do you see this evolving, right? Because you are playing upstream. Let's put it this way for now.
So we're a startup that has the typical startup challenges. At this point of time, we're looking for any semblance of revenue. The most obvious one is to get revenue from selling trucks to our customers and doing pilots. Second is we are open to sharing some of our technology to geographies that are not going to be direct competition. So we're looking at that too. Third, we are open to repowering large fleet owners, turning their ICE trucks into electric. Because as a startup, we have all these incentives to do what we have to do. So we're a startup. We're quick and nimble. We've done the hard work. We have running prototypes. It's running beautifully. We need to convert this prototype from a concept vehicle into a roadworthy vehicle that we can sell to our customers and turn it into a business.
So you're looking at now setting up this whole manufacturing unit. Is that the next step?
Yes. So we are now at advanced prototyping and engineering. It's done. The road testing is going on. We now need to raise money. And once we raise money, we will build a prototype plant. And in that prototype plant, we will build capacity of up to 10 trucks a day. Once we succeed, then we go for the big game, which is the manufacturing plant. That would be the scale game.
And so what's the toughest part at the moment?
Okay, you got that one right, Kapil. There are lots of problems, but let me state in no particular order some of the big challenges that I want fellow YPers to know. This is obvious, but hardware is hard. I've also learned that bigger the vehicle, bigger the challenges, lots of engineering, right? And from concept to reality, there's a big journey, big word. And to build a truck, we need lots of money. And we end up in a place where we are too big of a check as an ask for venture capitalists and too early for private equity because we're pre-revenue. And I think the general optics from a country like India is innovation struggles to raise money. And a country like, I think, the US, they tend to attract venture capital, all sorts of private capital much faster for innovation. And as a country, we are very comfortable being smart followers, or we call it lift and shift, and build the business first and then look at tech. So system integrate first, build the business, and then do the difficult stuff. So these are all some of the big challenges.
So what are you raising now, Ravi?
So we're raising $20 million at a $100 million valuation. All our internal calculations and financial modeling tells us we think we're worth about $250 million somehow. Our mission is more important. We're here to make sure our mission becomes a reality. So we want to offer a really good option for YPO members to participate at a $100 million valuation, and we can look into raise $20 million.
And what does $20 million get you?
$20 million gets us to the prototype plant. We get a capacity of 10 trucks a day. We get to take these prototypes into market-ready, saleable product. And we get roadworthy permissions from RI, which is Automotive Research Association of India, homologates and approves our vehicle as roadworthy, saleable products. So gets us to get into business.
So I wish you all the best, Ravi, and I'm pretty sure that you will be talking to a lot of YPOs pretty soon.